No gi. No gi baseball bat chip. Okay.
And I also have another question, if you can squeeze it in today.
Yeah.
With a gi, if I remember correctly, there is a position to put the arm to get out of guard that in the middle of someone's chest and grabbing their lapel that prevents them from being able to bend your arm and put you in either an arm bar or a triangle.
What?
To keep them from posturing up. If you're in their guard, and basically you can stiff arm them to start working your way out of the guard and prevent them from breaking your elbow down to put you in a lock.
It doesn't sound like something that I do. Did you see it somewhere else?
I thought you did it. I thought you did it. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think he's just talking about just the proper posturing
Guard
when you're
break?
in guard.
I can show you my
Where
position.
you double lapel, hand on the waist.
Yeah. I'll
Yes.
show my
It
position.
wasn't actually in the waist. It was more like around the between
The rib
sternum.
cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, rib cage.
I think I'm familiar with what you're saying. I'll address that too.
Okay.
You just put it in the camera. It's
We are being recorded.
So am I to understand there's actually a baseball choke with no gi?
Yes.
Yes. So.
I've done it. I can't seem to remember how though now.
Okay. So I would do from knee on belly.
Right?
Set it up, right? Or if I go from side control, I just have to be a lot sneakier about it. What I'll usually do is hold this bicep out of the way and then turn my hand underhand. They're usually trying to turn sideways, so I don't do it when they're totally flat. I usually let them start to turn sideways a little bit. That's fine. And right about here, I can change my grip. So the grip, we can go gable, 3-finger, that's where the thumb is between the pointer and the middle finger, index and middle finger. My wrists are not too flexible, so I tend to do this intertwining type of grip. I don't really recommend it, but I do it because my flexibility in my shoulders, elbows, and wrists is not that good. So now from here, I'm dropping my top elbow towards the floor, sliding past my other elbow. Okay. I can also, when I do that, slide my hips like a Kesagatami. And if I'm doing that from knee on belly, then I slide it over her arm usually. And then you're choking the sides of the neck, not the throat. So you do want them to turn sideways a little bit. And if you're getting the throat, you're doing it too wrong. You're either rushing or you're applying it wrong. Let's do it from side control because we do it from the on belly a lot. So if I was here in the regular side control and I wanted to do the baseball bat, I would take this underhook and push the bicep down. The reason I do that is I'm not going to be able to overpower this. I'm just making space for my hand to turn. It's more sneaky that way. And I use my forearm to also control. Like, so if she's trying to frame right here, it's a little harder for her to frame because where my arm is right here. Okay? Once she turns sideways, that's when I adjust. And I go here. Now we're on the sides. Okay? I start dropping my top elbow and I get the tap. If I want it to be really powerful, I switch to Kesagatami here. Okay? And I let go of my grip so I don't crush your neck. Any questions on that one?
So your grip, show me again the grip. Are you using the 3-finger or are you using?
Okay, so I use, I intertwine these last 3 of my, the working arm with the first 3 of my bottom arm. I intertwine those so my elbows can touch. If you can touch your elbows with the 3-finger grip, see, I can barely do it. I gotta compensate with my other arm. That's why I don't do it. But if you can do that, get your elbows in touch, it looks like this. thumb between the middle and the ring, and then you gable grip. Same as a gable grip, right? A gable, the only difference is my thumbs are together. Okay? My thumbs are with the fingers. With the finger, I open up that space and I grab in there. Okay? You can do it this way. It's not so recommended. Like, we shouldn't grip like this, but for me, on the no-gi baseball bat, it works. All right, so let's try that.
But you can't get closer. Okay, so let's go ahead and try that.
The family? That was on. There we go.
Can you see us okay there, Coach?
Yep, definitely.
Let's try this.
That looks fine.
I'm confused.
Look at the dog.
Oh, I want to be or over his shoulder. Over the shoulder?
Yeah, because you only want his neck involved there. Your bottom hand is palm down and your top hand is palm up.
You will start like with the underhook.
So yeah, start with the underhook because that's normal position. So then your hand's going to go in front of the shoulder, palm up. So the top hand is palm up.
Okay.
And then the one that's under the head is palm down.
So it goes from here holding the bicep to flipping up.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Just going to make that small movement.
So
Your top hand, your under the head is palm down. Yeah.
So as you're doing it, the hands are rotating, correct?
It will a little bit. It's mainly where your elbow's going. You're trying to put your elbows together at the end.
Turn this way. Okay, let me see. So,
And he would turn sideways, Alex. That's why. That's why the angle's weird.
That why I'm having trouble with this?
Yeah. If you turn him sideways, it'll make more sense.
The gi one's easier. That's why I was asking about the. This is fun.
Yeah, but same thing there. He would turn sideways, right? Unless
yeah.
he's done so fast. If he stays on his back, you go all the way north-south.
Yeah.
But no gi, we don't do that because your arms will never make it.
So
Well,
you can go straight gable, correct?
You could do gable, yeah.
You just go straight gable. Does his
Gable,
hand being this way?
or the thumb between the index and middle. Those are two good grips.
so do I want to be close to his neck with my hand?
Yeah, so now he turns sideways because he's going to try to escape. Then you drop your right elbow to the mat.
He can't see. He can't see us. You need to go that way. This way? You gotta turn the one. There you go. I feel like you're doing it across the So here, and then the bottom hand is facing up or down?
The bottom hand is face down.
See, you're getting my way there.
No, it doesn't seem right. Okay.
You're getting right here.
Is it air or chip or
Is it across the side?
It's all
Is it-
blood. It's all blood. So look, it's not about the pressure. I can do it from underneath.
You're getting it here in front.
So it's not about using all my weight and strength, right? If I can choke her right there, I'm not in a position of leverage, right? I wouldn't recommend the move from there. I'm just showing you that it works. And it's just because you're putting it. I could just put my thumbs on the side of my neck and eventually I'm going to pass out, assuming I could keep some pressure on my own neck without, once you start passing out, you're going to start to let go. But if someone puts their fingers against the side of your neck and block the two arteries, you're going to pass out, right? So you don't have to do it super strong. If you're trying really hard, then something's missing.
So where is my body here?
Because you're tuck this out a little bit more. So you're getting it in the front. See, that's where it is. That's it. Right there.
Right there?
Yeah, I feel it there. But you were doing it in the front.
Yeah. So it doesn't work well unless he starts to turn.
Yeah, but he is going to turn, right? If he knows how to escape side control, he's going to be turning sideways, right? So we're, if someone just lays there, then we don't need this move. There's plenty of other stuff we can do. It looks to me that, and it's hard to see, but it looks to me that you're choking with this part of your arm.
Yes.
Yeah, we never choke with that part of our arm. We're either going to use this bone near the knuckle or this bone near the knuckle.
So you want to get that bone right there.
So the gable grip seems to be working better for me.
Right, because he's going to line up the bone next to his neck.
Yeah, the gable, once I turn to the gable grip, is this grip here, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, once I turn to that, I got it right.
Because you were doing it in the front door.
Right. Okay. Want to try it? Go to this side. No, just.
So it's, you would do to rotate out, right?
Yeah, but you got it right up in my neck.
Yeah.
Right up on my neck. I go to rotate out. No, lay down. No, lay down. This, bring these two together. No, together.
Hold on, I don't know. Wait, hold on.
Bring the two elbows together.
Hold on. Well, turn. Yeah, it's this way. Not that way.
All right. So positioning inside the guard.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I have another question. Since we're already in control. Lucas and I were rolling yesterday, and I noticed he did something. I'm just wondering if he may be overextending his arms. So, for example, he shrimps out of her side control. Go here. Right? He shrimps out of side control, and he really puts your hip over and really extends his arms far.
All right. What's up,
Is there a danger here?
What are you doing?
No, you're not going to be able to armbar him there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no danger for him to be overextending his arms out like this?
Not really. Yeah.
Okay.
Not really. If you were in a different position, maybe, but right there is okay. You should be framing. You should be creating as much space as you can to bring your guard in. Yep. Now, if you're bench pressing the guy, is a different story. Then he can armbar you. He can change his weight and wrist lock you, right? But from there, he's sideways. He's getting his hips away. And you're not on top. You have no control. So you shouldn't be able to get him with anything. Yeah.
Okay.
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 So this is where I want my hands, right? I don't want to pass her rib cage at all. So whether there's a gi or no gi, this is where my hands are going to be. If there's a gi, I could hold the lapel like this. That's fine, right? Or I could have one back holding the pants.
That's the one I was talking about right there. Yeah.
But you see my elbow? I'm not going to jam it in her leg. I'm just going to keep it here, just on the inside of her hips, right? And I'm only doing that with one hand. I don't do that with both. If I do that with both, now she brings her knees to her chest, and I fall. Okay? So I always need some type of base here on the rib cage, right, or the belt. The belt moves, so I don't usually recommend the belt unless you hold it just right where it's not going to slip. Right, hip, that's good. Right, no gi, we can't grab the pants, so we hold the hip and the rib cage. My elbows, I don't want out, but I don't want them too far in either. Right, so I just keep them almost locked out. If I lock it out and she pulls on my elbow, I could get hyperextension there as well. And if you don't want to get triangle, you just don't reach one out while the other's still in there. Right, if I start doing this, she can triangle me. Right, if I put one in while the other was out, same thing. So they both have to mirror each other, both coming in or both coming out. Okay, this is one in, one out, right? It's not about my whole arm, it's about where my elbow is. Close your guard. See, I'm getting tried. There's nothing about like pushing on the sternum that's going to stop you from getting anything, right? She could double arm bar you. She's not going to like the pressure on the sternum. So she's going to probably attack more aggressively, you know, because now you're doing things that are painful. So she wants out of that position. And what's she going to do? She's going to attack. She's not going to let you do it. So stick to the principles. Also, don't put your hand on the mat. That's Kimura and omoplatas all day, right? So that was, we did one on the defense. We got a crazy cat here. We did one on the defense and like rules of being in the guard or whatever it was, principles of staying safe, and that's on that video. What else? This is all about review, so try to keep it to stuff that.
Now, with the gi, do you have to grab both lapels? Is it all right to grab one? If you decide to.
Depending on what you're trying to do. So, start again. So, one position that we use is called, there's not really a name, but the way they describe it, so here's the lapel, right? Here's the lapel. And they say hold it like you're holding reins of a horse, right? One hand's in front of the other, and you're holding both lapels. I guess you don't really have to hold both lapels, but that's going to keep you centered, right? Because the lapel can't pull this way too much, right, or that way too much if you're holding both. If I'm holding one side and then the other, and they try to clear my hands, they're going to go because the lapel opens up, right? And so that would be a good reason to hold both at the same time. And then if I'm holding both, now I can reach back and start opening the pants or the knees while I'm still holding both lapels there. Okay. But that being said, right, I might go here and grab one lapel, start feeding that. Right. Yeah.
Because you're trying to pass.
Yeah, certain passes would only use one.
Right.
Right.
But for like guard, not guard retention, but for holding, posturing up. Good
like,
idea to
have good posture in the guard. I would hold both if I'm going to go lapels. But honestly, I prefer.
And how about with one hand? You ever do that?
Yeah, you still hold both, and you want it to be the top hand that stays, right?
Right.
If you want to reach back with the right, switch your grip and reach back with the other hand.
Reach back. Gotcha.
So I usually go left, so I hold the lapel with my right, push with my left. Being aware of a triangle, right? So
right.
If this hand's coming out, they throw their leg over. This hand has to come out too, right? Because I'm not going to get that one back in time because that's why they threw it over. This one was so far back. So this has to come out, right?
So that position that you were just talking about right there, that turns into
same position we're talking about. Just hands if we want to hold lapel. I like rib because that works gi or no gi, right? And I will play around with the belt depending on what's going on. Sometimes I'll hold the belt because it's a very If I hold both, it wraps around twice, right? And if you only hold one piece of it, it can come loose and it's not reliable. But if you hold both, it doesn't tighten or loosen usually, and you can hold it. And where you're holding it keeps the hips close to you, right? So you can keep their hips close, and you can also keep your elbow out and not have to think about the moment they try to pull it in, because you're holding the gi, right? You're holding the belt. The belt can only go so high. So my elbow's out. It's like holding the hip when I do a no-gi pass. My hand, since there's no belt, I'll hold the hip line here, right, with my elbow out. With the gi or the belt, I'll just hold the belt there, and it does the same thing. Okay. Now it's difficult for her to pull my arm in without me realizing, because I have a belt hold, right? So even if I'm not thinking about it, I'm thinking about over here, I don't get distracted and pulled in because my hand's fixated on holding that belt there. My knee, as she mentioned, my knee's up. My knee stays next to my elbow, right? This is when the guard's already open. My knee's gonna stay next to my elbow. And honestly, it should be on the inside, right? My elbow should be on the inside of my knee and my knee inside her guard, right? And so if I'm just trying to pass here, boom, and then I take it out, right? Again, my flexibility, I'll do some things differently. I put my elbow on the outside. There's some risk to that, but my flexibility issue is it's so much easier for me to do that. And I can pass, right? Or I can pass. It depends which way I want to go.
Now, let me ask you, Coach, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
The passing the guard there, using basically a stacking approach to lean all their body back onto their neck and really put that pressure on their on their shoulder blade and neck.
You're talking about a stack pass?
Yes.
And what about it?
I want to review that a little bit because Lucas and I were doing that yesterday.
Okay.
I exposed him to that yesterday, and
Sure.
obviously he didn't like it too much.
Yeah. So it's not so much about being a painful position or that you're hurting their neck. It's just that it's a weak position for her, for them, right? So if I go 2 hands under, I pull her up onto my lap. Now there's different passes I can do from here. We have a 2-hand under pass traditional. I can also go to the ankles here, put them next to her ear. And from here, what I do is she's trying to pick a side. She's trying to find which side she likes to back roll over, right? I'm gonna let her go that way because if I try to keep her in the middle, it's too unpredictable. She's freaking out. She's trying to get out of this uncomfortable position. I feel like going that way, and I take the pass, right? That
So, I was thinking example.
It doesn't have to be from the 2-hand under. So let's say we're just here, kind of pass, 2 hands, and I go here. I put my belly right under her lower back, and I see her picking that side, so I'm going to let her. And see, I caught the arm, and I go under the head, right? And I get the pass. Now, they might back roll, so that's what you have to be ready for. If you're too aggressive with that, like I said, or keeping them on the center, they're going to pick a side and they're going to roll, and you don't know which way they're going to go. So I let them start to roll, and then I shoot my hand through, snake it through, over the arm, under the head, right? So I get the side control. If they turtle, you're going to have to control the turtle. You still haven't scored any points, and then you're going to have to try to either take the back or force a side control. Technically isn't passing anymore. It just depends how quickly you can do it.
How about the stacking where you're basically reaching with one arm to the opposite shoulder?
Okay, yeah, so that's the 2-hand underpass that I usually show from there. So I'll show that. And Alex, are you there?
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna show something after that that works really good, that we've gone over in a different night. Kind of combine these two, because is a really good combination here. So
Roll.
two-hand underpass, right? I break the guard. However you like to break the guard, doesn't matter. Two hands go under, and I drive in a little bit, right? Bring my knees close, lock my hands. From here, I pull her up onto my lap. So I'm here with a straight back. Her hips are loaded. I need her hips loaded or she's gonna be able to shrink away. She's gonna be able to get away. With her hips up high, it's difficult. Now, I want to make sure my shoulders under a knee. If there's a lapel, I pull the lapel and my thumb goes in. And I'm feeding my hand to the mat, like I'm punching the mat. And no gi, I cup the back of her shoulder. I need to drive the pressure, like her knee, all the way to her nose. And I start to circle to the side. So we're not flipping them like on the last one. We're not putting so much upside down, right? Her feet are not going to the mat. I'm just coming in here driving. If I just drive from here, I haven't loaded the hips. She's gonna eggshell away. She's gonna shoulder walk. I'm never gonna catch up. I'm gonna keep on having to fight this, and I'm losing my grip. Okay. So I want to drive a little bit just to lock my hands, and then I load her up. Now she can't do that. Okay. Now my hand goes to the opposite shoulder. Shows pressure, knee to the nose, and start turning the corner. They're gonna let their feet fly. Okay. Let's let you practice that, and then I'm gonna go into something we can do off of it.
So you're not controlling her feet after that. Her feet are just kind of sliding by your face.
Yeah, she's letting you pass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you go directly into a paper cutter from there? Since you've got the opposite shoulder?
Your hands backwards. Oh, paper cutter. Yes.
Yeah.
Paper cutter. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that we see. So I break. Close it.
Yeah, thumb in, knuckles all the way down. And so the thing with this one is you don't even have to pass. If you hold their hips up with your right hand, you can just force the paper cutter choke.
Is that?
Yeah.
Those dogs love to be like in the movie, right? You see,
I'm
like
telling you.
Oh, when you were doing the exercise, your dog came and put his face right up to the camera and was like staring.
Oh, really?
Yeah. All right, so put this one big view. So what we're
One sec.
Well, that's the part I was missing. Is
into your hands under, right? Load her up. I'm going to start to drive, right? And right here, as I'm driving, my hand, I'm going to foot in deep and look at that half. Making sure my hip touches the arm. Other side.
So you just leave it out.
I separate my hand. I'll just go over my ribs.
hang on.
So leave it outside, right? That way I can finish what-
So we're gonna do it again.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
So that's, what, Coach, that's an anaconda choke?
No, look.
2 hands under. Okay. So go for the knee to the nose here. But as I do, I'm scooping up my half Nelson. Okay. Now I start to pass. All the way to the other side, keeping the arm trapped. Bicep to the hand up to the rib, squeezing the elbows together. So try that.
Sorry, I missed that whole thing.
Did you really?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. No, I actually did.
No, you were on the phone.
All right. This was for Alex, so I gotta show you.
Alex, kidding me. 2 weeks more. That's it.
All right. So it's more than 2 weeks. 2 hands under. Lock the hands, right? We're doing the pass. Now, knee to the nose, and as I do, I'm throwing in the half here. Okay?
Right.
Around to the side.
Oh.
Hand to the rib. Squeeze the elbows together.
Wait, how did you get there?
From the 2-hand under pass. So now your left hand, go for a half mil. So you're gonna, so now let go of the lapel
Yeah.
all the way around.
Hit the hand
Yep.
in the head.
Reverse your grip. Go thumb down like you're Kimuraing yourself around his neck. Yep.
Okay. All right.
And now you're gonna use your butt and hip to get his arm in front of the neck.
Yep. Can't ease on the way.
Because if he had a shoulder, it would go there. But
That's it.
Yep. And now right bicep to your left hand.
That's so good. You didn't get underneath your arm.
That's it. Yep.
You have to reach around with that.
So when we get the pass,
Yeah.
where did you go? You went under this way?
No,
Or this-
with your other hand. Yeah.
This one
Yep.
comes under?
Yeah, dig, look for the armpit.
So here?
Yes. And
Now
then
scoop?
you're gonna use your left hip, scoop up his arm.
See, you didn't.
Use your butt to, yeah, there you go. And now circle to the other side of him.
And keep that arm.
Feet first. Yep, keep everything where it is. See how he starts to turn sideways?
Yeah.
Now put your bicep to your hand, like a rear naked choke. And then hold his ribs with the right hand. And then you,
Right here?
yep, and then you squeeze that. You're getting an arm triangle there.
Yeah, that. Oh,
Yep.
I like it.
His arm stays between his head and your body.
And that, yeah,
Don't let it
that
come
keeps
out.
it
Yeah,
right there.
he's a dummy, so
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't move the same way.
yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't move the same way, but
There's no resistance.
Okay. Now, when we're doing the pass, our opponent's arms are going to be here, or
they're usually framing. They're trying to keep you from passing, right?
right?
Rita's doing this on me. She goes 2 hands under. I'm trying to scoot away first. But once she loads me,
Right.
here, because she's going to try to push my knee to my nose and start to circle. So I'm going to start pushing here. See? Pushing.
Okay.
So then when she the half here, go for the half. Reverse your grip. Yeah. See, it starts to slide off and get caught. And now it's like it's against her leg. I could take it out, but that's even better for her. So it gets stuck, you know. So it's
that's
screaming.
Coach. Yeah, that's where we're having issues. Can you see my screen? Can you see our screen?
Yep.
All right.
See dog butt too. Ribs.
So if I'm passing here,
So it's too late. It's too late because you already passed and he framed, right? Because once someone gets their guard pass, they're going to start framing, and now the opportunity is not there. You're trying to catch the submission in the transition. So before the legs drop, your arms already got to be in place. Yeah, right there. Now use your hip and start moving to the other side. And you're gonna see your hand, put your head on the other side. To switch sides, you gotta switch your head too. And then you're gonna see your hand pop out the bottom. You're gonna put your bicep to your hand, hold his ribs with the right hand, and squeeze. Yep.
I see Alex going early. for under the head
Yeah.
at the same time you do the pass?
The same motion, right?
Together.
Use it all in. So the first move becomes part of the second move, right? You don't
Okay,
have
so you're not completing that pass and then putting your arm under.
No.
It's
Yeah.
simultaneous.
You're going right into it. Yeah. You're trying to
Okay.
tap the guy without.
Instead of finish pass.
Right.
So here is where you go, right, Coach?
Yeah. You
Start-
start snaking your hand
Start snaking your hand under,
right away.
and then I got you.
It's so hard to do with this dummy.
Yeah, because he's not moving his freaking legs.
Extend this leg out.
And it's just
Now,
walk.
Coach, on the doors, when you say squeeze, you said something last week that made more sense. I'm squeezing my elbows together, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, because I've been doing that wrong.
So
Yeah.
motion, when I squeeze, I'm not doing that, right? I'm
Squeeze your wrist
doing,
together, Lucas.
hold on, I'm watching my lag. I'm going like this.
Yeah, I've been doing this wrong. And I think that night that we were all that we all got it wrong and Jen got it right, I
Yeah.
think that's what we were all doing. Oftentimes when I do the darce, I can feel the person's neck curling around my wrist. So I know it's wrong.
Right.
It's a neck crank.
And what I saw you guys doing, you were focusing on a lot. So her focus was, if this is the person's neck, their head and their neck, she was focusing on reaching that arm as far as she could and dipping her shoulder underneath, right? So what you guys were focusing on was, once you got that arm underneath, how much of this squeeze you could make. You were
Right.
focusing on, and I remember, because you guys were all trying to do it one-handed to see how good that squeeze could get. And that's not what we're looking for, right? If I'm going to choke somebody with just my bicep muscle, that's going to be difficult, right? But if I can
Reach.
squeeze in, right, bring everything together, I'm strong here. And
Yeah.
that's what you're doing when you put your elbows together. This hole that we're trying to make smaller doesn't get smaller by bending these arms. This hole's, it got like that much smaller. It made like a little triangular indent. But if I
Right.
squeeze my elbows together, now it's like this little tiny triangle about that big. Everything about that big.
Go back arriba so they can see you.
Everything else is gone, right? So it's
Yeah.
squeezing my elbows together. Now
Yeah,
the
'cause I
hole is really small.
Think I'm trying to do this.
The chest
Right.
well is
It's
pressed.
not like a shrug or
Right.
these inverted chops, right? It's squeezing the knees together, just like you would on a triangle, right? Squeezing the
My
knees
triangles suck too, so.
together. Squeezing the knees
Probably
together.
the same concept.
The arm knees. Hey, at the end of that, the finish of this, Brian,
Yeah.
can you, because I noticed myself, and it could be just because of the space I have, like I went to my side. Should I try to stay up on my knees
Yeah.
with
Stay on
that?
your knees. Stay on your knees.
Yeah.
Because that changes the angle. If you fall to the side,
If
that
you,
changes the angle and
Okay.
where you're trying to squeeze everything together.
okay. So once you get to your knees, stay right there and just,
Yeah, and
Pinch.
when possible, I like to trap the arm in between the legs. You don't have to squeeze it; just have it be there, right, in between your legs, because that
Okay.
just it lines
the choking,
up, lines
the
up
choking
shoulders
arm,
better.
essentially, or the trapped arm.
Yeah, her trapped arm.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing this wrong. I can feel it.
Yeah.
What I want to do is this.
Yeah, you don't want that.
This really shuts that gap. You're getting your elbows together. I think
And
that's
the
gonna
same
change.
when you do rear naked choke, right? That should be the same type of squeeze too. Squeeze the
Yeah.
elbow together. Well, squeezing the elbows together presses, it helps close this one, right? Because this motion pushes my wrist and closes that even more.
The rear, I feel like the rear naked is, I mean, you can cheat on that as far as the squeeze. Because once you're under the chin, it's
Yeah.
over. You know, you
There's
can
a
do
lot
just
of moves
about
in
it.
jiu-jitsu that you could do really sloppy and get it
Yeah.
80% of the time, because we learn so many details that make the move work. As long as we're doing most of the important ones, usually they're going to tap, you know?
That's a good detail, though. Good.
Yeah.
I'll be
That's
nasty when I get here. It's going to be reverse Casey Gatami to Doris all day. I don't know how that'll work, but I'll figure it out.
I think that's everywhere, man.
You can do reverse case Gatami into Dars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go towards that. Yeah, we did that last week. I was actually reviewing it last night.
Yeah. That's why I showed this, because it comes right off of that pass.
Okay, since we're speaking about it, what is reverse?
Reverse just means backwards. You're facing the other way. Case Gatami reversed?
So Casey Gatami is the same way. You're just facing an opposite direction.
Correct. Yeah, all the position
Okay.
is the same. Your elbow's in the armpit instead of an underhook. And your hip is in their other armpit.
Okay.
And then you can use your free hand to like keep the knees away or to control the knees.
Right.
Or block if it's a fight so they don't knee you. Right?
Okay.
Sorry, my dog's going crazy.
Somebody's outside, maybe.
We got a delivery.
Zombies.
Nah, it's a delivery.
Zombie delivery.
Zombie delivery.
Coach, can we look at the
How's it going? You can just drop it there. Right there?
From-
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, buddy.
6 feet.
Say it
6 feet.
again.
from Mount? Can we look at the basically shifting into like a side control? I believe it's a side control triangle.
Yeah.
Choke.
Yeah.
Come on.
So
Head that way. No, head that way.
He's like, make it money.
Okay. So from the mount, if we want to get an arm triangle, one hand goes under the head, deep as I can. So my elbow is on the mat, right? My elbow's on the mat, very important. This arm, who knows what she's doing with it, but it's gonna be pretty easy to push it up here right against her. You don't wanna push it way up where it's above her head. I want it to go like close to the jaw. And I like to grip right under the armpit here, and then I'm gonna put my head down low because I wanna make sure that her arm stays down by her jaw, just under the jaw. And so I tip my head, and like I can see her ear right now. I'm looking at the ear. So then the technique you wanna do is like how to dismount, right? If I just take my leg out, she grabs a half guard every time, okay? If she doesn't, she's not paying attention. So you gotta expect she's gonna try to do that. So if I can bring my foot to the other side, she can't get that. See where it is? So it was here. I bring my heel to my butt and then the far hip. One more time. Like that. She can't get that. Now it's just as easy to slide off. I'm not gonna get caught, right? Because my foot's already here, and then I slide. So I'm gonna put both of those together. We go under the head, push the arm, I get low and trap, and I can even lock up the rear naked if I want, okay? I like to just hold here and adjust later. Foot goes over, and now I can slide. From here, this is where I like to adjust, and I lock up. I can hold my own head, I can hold their head, I can hold a grip like this. There's so many, don't get caught up how you lock. There's a ton of ways. It's about the lateral pressure. My arm that's under her head, the bicep on one side of her neck, going towards you guys, me pulling, right, helping, that's what this grip is gonna do. And then my ear pushing her bicep and shoulder into the other side of the neck. So then I can just settle my weight, focus on that squeeze, and we get the tap. So let's try that.
So at the end, you sprawled. Right.
There's a lot of ways to do that. So I bellied out
Or belly out.
and
Yeah.
squeezed, right? You could also sit through and squeeze.
Okay.
You could get on your toes and squeeze, right?
Right.
Yeah. Getting
Just
on your
whichever.
toes would probably be the most pressure.
Okay. So. Here. Now, once you get your toes over the,
Once the top of your foot's touching the hip, you could slide your knee off.
just slide it off.
Yeah, you could even leave it there, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could even leave like a knee on belly while you're doing it. He wanted to see side control, so I did that.
And then here,
Yep.
like I said, it doesn't matter. I could grab my bicep and just
Yeah, you could go double bicep and pull that to your chest. That works too.
lean in.
Yep, and then squeeze. And the more lateral, or the more you tee off or make an L shape, the more sideways pressure you'll get with your ear. Right? If you can't finish it, you kind of walk up, you kind of tee off on it.
One thing I missed yesterday was
See how Alex is teeing off a little bit?
Right.
He's making an L shape. He's using the Keisugatami style.
yeah, because I can't catch it.
Hey, again, I had you muted because the dog.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel sturdier there.
Yeah.
No,
I want to get you up.
I feel sturdier in this position than belly down. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's good. That's good too. And then with that one, you can lift up your hip to add more pressure. You usually don't need it though. Head and arm, I got stories of that one. That's gonna tap a lot of people. I didn't need much experience before I was using that.
So get here, like set up, kind of flatten out,
Yeah, they're gonna try to bump and roll you, right?
then sneak it under.
Yep.
So
Then they're gonna be using their arms. So you find your moment to push the arm across. Boom, you trap it with your ear. Give a little look towards him. So in Gracie Baja, we always said, look him in the eyes, right?
Right.
If you're looking at him in the eyes, that's forcing your head to the proper position.
Right.
Yep. And now you can dismount.
Now when you
You can try to finish it there, right?
now when you put your knee over, do you lean forward a little bit just to give you that windshield wiper thing?
If you need to.
I mean, you're
Just
pretty
don't
safe here.
Just don't let the arm go from here on him up to here.
Right.
Right.
So as long as
Because
you're
that
safe, but I mean,
movement
if I
of
could
the shoulder is important.
just rock a little bit,
Yeah.
just so I can get that.
You just got to sneak your foot off.
And then you said you could actually sit through.
Yeah, you can sit through like that. Yep.
Okay.
It's
Good.
not tapping.
Yeah, brother.
Murder.
Murder, she wrote.
Yeah. I wasn't, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't putting, when I was dismounting, he could have caught me in a half guard because my leg was too extended. I wasn't putting my foot across his belly.
Yeah. Yep. A good guy's going to get half guard on you. You got to be really careful. What else, guys? Something else to review.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna leave it to Alex and Arsenio because I've been asking all the questions.
So let's talk about DARS for a second.
okay.
Since we're here. When you're doing, don't worry, Rita. when you've got the choke, DARS or arm in or whatever, not their arm, but your choking arm, where are you feeling there? What are you feeling? Where are you feeling the neck, and what part of their neck are you feeling on that part of your arm?
So it's usually going to be.
Sorry, Rita.
It's usually going to be right about here. So I'm feeling the actual physical touch right there, right?
Okay.
If you're shallow, it's way down by your wrist, and you don't want it shallow. I want this in contact, right?
Right.
Also, it's important where your shoulder is. My shoulder is adjacent or right behind her shoulder. So I'm getting a push right here against her neck with her own shoulder, but that's because mine is there. And then my wrist coming back here. But I'm not, this type of movement is very weak, right? The bicep movement. So this, me pulling something into my own chest, that's a much stronger, that's what's giving us a squeeze when we bring our elbows together. So I would say right around here is a good spot for her neck to be. But someone with really long arms, they might get way up to their meatier part of their forearm, right? Which is still going to be skinny probably on them. Someone with shorter arms, they might be more down close to the wrist. But you want to dig that as deep as you can, but still have your shoulder where it could push their shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the other hand, just bicep to the hand. Don't reach for your bicep because that loosens it, right? Bicep goes to the hand, and then crawl this past their spine if possible.
Oh. All right.
And you can get the choke from right here, Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like it.
Like you're gonna be. So this is bad shot. Or drag them down.
Oh, is he belly down?
Yeah, yeah.
You could get it from there. I can't darce too good here, right? What I can do is a little riskier. Watch what I do. I'm going to shoot under her to this spot, and then I catch. And I'll actually go flat on my back here. Go ahead and squeeze right there, and I can get it. Because the angle is important, right? If they're belly down, I need to be on the side of them, which means I need to be here because they're belly down. If they fall over, I need to be here, right? If they spin, my head will probably get caught, but I can go back under again, right? Now remember, you can always go to an anaconda if the angles are bad for that type of choke. You can go anaconda. You can come in from the opposite side.
Which is, I was just gonna say that's
they're-
coming this way then.
Yeah, if you don't feel comfortable kind of rolling underneath or diving underneath, you can go anaconda from your knees, lock it up, and then roll. It's a little more safer because you already got the lock. Where if I dive under, I have to hope that that motion gives me the lock, right?
Okay. So is darce a better choke to get from on top then?
I like to use it when I'm passing the guard, especially a half guard. And I like the anaconda when they're in turtle.
Okay.
Those are the two main ways I use them. Right. So if I'm passing the half guard, or I'm passing guard, right? Technically, this is like I'm passing half guard too, and she's trying to get an underhook. This can force her underhook away, and I can start bringing her head in. Now she's worried about a choke and a pass. So it helps me pass, and then I can still go through my darts, right? If let's say I'm passing, I don't get the darts, and she comes up to her knees, so I can't get the side control. Now I can go the other way and start setting up my anaconda, right? Anaconda, remember, was from neck to armpit, where before I was going in this way. Maybe I don't want to fall into this, right?
Yeah.
Risky. Better to stay up here and work it.
And just shoot the opposite direction.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So I like anacondas from turtle when they're facing you already, right? And darce when I'm coming in. So the angle that I'm coming from, right? When I pass, my angle's towards their armpit. So I like to enter there, right? When I'm in front, the neckline is there. So I like to enter from there. I don't want to go and reach over and try to get a darce because my body's not there.
I got you.
I'm going to come from the angle that I'm either passing or attacking from. It's less movement.
Is that strict? Is that an arm? That's arm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Still-
both arm triangles.
Still both,
Yeah.
but just the angle. Okay.
So the anaconda, you're going to come from the neck to the armpit. Yeah. And then make a rear naked choke under the armpit.
This way.
That would be you only have his neck there, right?
Right.
So that's like called a coma choke or a reverse rear naked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this, I would have to get this
Inverted
as
rear
well.
naked. Yeah, you need the arm in there because it's an arm triangle. And then that's the one where you would roll.
Under.
Remember, you roll, and then when you're sideways, you walk your feet to their feet. That's the anaconda.
Roll that way.
You would think, but he can post. So you actually roll.
Oh, that's right. The arm
this
is
way.
posted there. So
Yep. So you would roll this way because you got the arm trapped. And
Roll
once you
this
get
way.
all the way on your left shoulder,
Now walk your feet sideways. Walk your feet.
he's not done rolling yet.
So, oh, stuck by the couch.
That's like the person, because I'm talking about sending you.
So,
You roll all the way.
okay.
So all the way, flip them over you. And then you walk towards the feet. Looks like you did a neck breaker.
I gotta start way by the TV.
Yeah, because you're going to roll towards us.
Yeah. So here,
All the way over. And now walk your feet towards the feet. Nice. And while you're walking, you squeeze. They'll probably tap before you catch their feet.
Yeah.
But that's the goal. Now, if you
Okay.
catch their feet and they still haven't tapped, now you can squeeze and bridge a little bit.
right.
So the anaconda, right? You start from the neck to the shoulder, right?
Correct. Yeah. Neck to armpit.
And now we need to roll.
That's the one where you roll, yes. And then the dark is the one where you don't have to roll.
I think your cat is on drugs.
You see, where'd he go?
My God.
Oh, yeah. He was just on that side. Now he's over there. He gets like hyper out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I think because he sleeps all day. And then when we get home, he just gets hyper.
There we are.
Very cool. Now, neon belly.
Yeah.
I know one of the ways you like to teach it is the sleeve and the lapel.
Yeah.
I saw the back of the lapel and the belt.
So like behind their neck.
Right.
And then instead of the arm, the belt. Yeah, sure.
Correct. So it was like it was back here.
And put, you got to move a little bit. Can't see.
Oh, my bad.
It's all right. Okay.
So here.
And are you pulling on the belt?
I think it was just a control point.
Grab
Okay.
the arm.
What I'm worried is if they can turn sideways, right? So if when you're holding the belt, you're holding it near the hip like you are and you're lifting, that's going to stop them from turning sideways. It could work. But then I'm also worried about them bucking you towards their right shoulder or away from us, right? I don't know if the camera's reversed or not. So away
Right.
from us, because your grip is so low, it's by their belt, it's going to be hard to post, right? You might have to let go of the belt and then post, and now they can move. Where
I got you.
if you were pulling on the sleeve or the elbow, then they can't buck that way anyway.
You can't go that way.
Yeah.
Right. Because this could stay the same though. You can stay back here.
Yeah,
You can get
that can move around a bit.
Yeah. Because then you can go for the choke here as well, right?
Choke, the baseball bat choke.
You can go spinning arm bar. Yeah, you could do a cross collar also. Yep.
Yeah.
You could do lapel chokes.
I got to watch the video a little more.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is
Remember
video
we did-
knowledge.
Remember we did one with a lot of collar chokes. I showed how the cross collar could be done, I don't know, 5 to 7 ways I think I showed, right?
Yeah.
So it was like regular cross collar with the lapel, the hands reverse, underhand, overhand.
Right.
We did all those. So that's on one of the videos, one of the early ones. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
What else? Anything, Alex?
I think it's about that time.
I'm sure I'll think of something.
Yeah, let me stop the recording real quick.